Hi Stampers, this is Dawn and I am so excited about today's card. I'm making a shaker card, but it's using a Christmas Thinlit. It's actually the Christmas Tags Thinlits. And let me show you how the shaker card works. So when you shake the card, don't you love that? Now this card is totally out of the box because let me show you the stamp set and the framelit that this is from. This is the Christmas Tag Thinlits. And this is what I use for my shaker card. Now mind you, this comes in a bundle with the tags and tidings, which are making Christmas tags with this adorable stamp set. So you can buy this in a bundle and save 10% with the stamp set and the Thinlit. But I took the Thinlit and I made it into a Halloween shaker card. And I'm going to show you how I did this. And then I wanted to show you a couple other ones that I made. So since this is the stamp set that comes with this Thinlit, I wanted to make a sample using the stamp set. Instead of using it as the tags, I made a shaker card once again. This time I put some snowflakes inside of it. And the snowflakes we sold, I think, last year through Stampin' Up. So they're not available right now, but I just think the snow really adds another element to this shaker card. So but this shaker is using the stamp set that comes with the Thinlit. Okay, so there's that sample. And then here's another sample. I finished this one and made it into a card. And this one is using the Signs of Santa stamp set. Isn't it cute? And once again, I added the snow. And then this time I used the Thinlit and cut it out with the sparkle glimmer paper. So it adds even more sparkle to it. But today I'm going to show you how to make this Halloween shaker card. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so not only are we going to make the shaker card, we're also going to make the envelope because this is a little bit larger size card that we normally make. Okay, so stay tuned to the end for the envelope. Let me give you all the measurements for the base of the card. So I'm using the basic black, and this piece is cut at 6 by 10.5, and then you're going to score it at 5 1/4. This is going to make your card base. And then I'm using the Toil and Trouble designer paper. It's double-sided, and I'm using the, of course, the gorgeous scrape side. This is cut at 5 by 5 3/4, so that's going to layer right onto the front. Just like that. Okay, so then we're going to use 2 pieces of Whisper White. One is going to be for the shaker part of the card with the Christmas Tags Thinlits that we're going to cut out. And then one we're going to stamp on and color and all that kind of stuff. So these are both cut at 4.5 by 5 7/8. Then you're going to need a piece of window sheet. And this is about 6 by 5. So it's just bigger than your Whisper White piece because we want to layer it behind the shaker window. But then I can cut out to make it fit perfectly, all right? All right, so let's go ahead and get our big shot. We're gonna die cut the Whisper White piece first. Okay, so when I seen this Thinlit in the holiday catalog, I immediately thought that it was gonna be an awesome shaker card. But of course, when I started making it, there was a couple things that I had to adjust, which one of them is the cutting process of the frame, because you'll notice when you look at the framelit, so now this Thinlit, when you use it, it's mainly to cut out the tags. But to make it as a shaker card, you need enough border around it to add your foam adhesive strips, right? So it pops up and then you can shake your goodies inside of the card. But when you're looking at this Thinlit, you can tell the right side is a little bit thicker and the left side is a little bit more narrow. So that's why I had to cut my Whisper White piece a little bit bigger so we can move the Thinlit over to make it thicker on this side. Okay. So of course, when I seen it in the holiday catalog, my mind said shaker card, but then when I went to make it, I had to make some adjustments. All right, so we're going to lay the Thinlit onto the Whisper White, and we're going to move it over towards the right hand side a little bit extra because this side over here is a little narrow. So then we're just going to go ahead and cut that out. Okay, so see, normally when you're stamping with the stamp set, let me show you again, because this is how this bundle works. So you would normally stamp this stamp onto your Whisper White, and then you would line the Thinlit up over top of the images, and then you would cut out all your little gift tags. Okay? So, and they pop out really super easy. So that's the idea with this bundle. Okay, so we're thinking outside of the box today. All right, so let's go ahead and move the big shot. Okay, so we're going to remove our Thinlit from our shaker frame part. Now you can see that the sides are definitely thick enough to add your foam adhesive strip, okay? So now you're going to see how this is going to layer onto your Whisper White, which we are going to layer that right over top of that. Okay, so now you're going to take a pencil and you're going to outline all the shapes onto the back piece of your Whisper White. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we have all the shapes transferred onto your Whisper White piece. All right, now is the time to find the stamp sets that you would like to use inside of each of those shapes. So this is where I was taking all the Halloween stamp sets from the holiday catalog, and I'm going to show you those that we used on the Halloween version of this card today. Okay, so of course we used the trick or treat, we used all the animals plus the pumpkin, and then a few of the greetings, which fit in these little oblong little boxes right here. And then for the spooky sweets, you're going to notice this gingerbread man cutout. Now mind you, there's no stamp set except for the gingerbread man that comes in that stamp set with the bundle. And of course the gingerbread man wasn't playing along with my Halloween theme. So what I did is I just took the star from the spooky sweets and I stamped it right in the center of the gingerbread man. And I'm going to demonstrate that here in a second. And then I also used the cauldron bubble. I used the little Halloween witch and the frog, the kitty cat, the ghost, and then also the trick or treat, and then the happy Halloween on the front of the card. Okay, so all those 3 stamp sets. Now these 2 stamp sets also come in a bundle. This one has this framelit, which is the cauldron framelits, and then this one has a spooky bat punch that comes in a bundle. Okay, and those are available right now in the holiday catalog. Okay, so we're going to be using the Memento ink. So once again, with the template that we made with the Thinlits to make the shaker part of the card, we traced it onto the back piece because this is going to be our guide to where to stamp our images. And I'm going to stamp a couple of them with you right now. So we're going to stamp the elephant, the dog, and then of course the cute little pumpkin, and then the star. But first we're going to need some Post-it notes. I'm going to use 4 Post-it notes. And I'm going to mask out the little frame. Each one of the frames need to be masked out so you don't stamp over to the other window. So I'm going to use about 4 Post-it notes per section of the cutouts. Okay, so we're going to mask this part out. We're going to stamp our little dog, and this is from the Trick or Treat. So the mask is blocking off so I don't stamp over with the dog into the other spaces of the Thinlit cutouts. Okay, so there's my dog, and then when I remove it, he will be inside of that window for me perfectly. Just like that. Isn't that cute? All right, now I'm going to stamp the elephant in this oval. So let me go ahead and mask that one off. It just takes a few minutes. It's actually the coloring process. And then of course finding the stamp set that you want to use for each of the windows. I'm going to move this over a little bit more like that. Okay, so then we're going to stamp our little elephant inside of this larger oval. Okay, so we're going to stamp him right about there. Isn't he cute? Okay, so then when you remove your Post-it note, your little elephant will be in that shape. Now, if he does go over a little bit, it's fine because we're going to actually color over the pencil line, which I'll show you here in a second for that. Now, remember I mentioned the gingerbread man. There's no shape or another stamp that would fit in that space with the theme of the Halloween. So I just took the star and I'm going to stamp that right in the center of the gingerbread man. And I don't need a mask for that one. It's pretty easy just to line that up. As well as the little teardrop next to that one. I just took the little pumpkin from the Trick or Treat. And I just line that one up in the center of that as well, just like that. Okay? So then you would just continue and add all your images. And I'm going to show you the card again up close after we finish showing you what I did, okay? So let me bring in my Stampin' Blends. Okay, so for the video today, I'm just going to color in the dog, but you would apply the same I guess the technique to what I'm doing for this dog part of this shaker card to all of the images, okay? So first I'm going to go ahead and color in the dog, and I'm using my Stampin' Blends. I'm using the Highland Heather in the light, the Crumb Cake in the combo pack, the light and the dark, then the basic black dark, and then the Mango Melody in the dark. So I'm just going to go ahead and color in my dog, so let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so I got my dog colored in. Now I'm going to add a color to the background, but before we do that, we're going to erase the outline of the shape, because once you color over your pencil line, there's no way to erase that pencil line. So I found that you have to erase the pencil line first. So let me grab my pencil. Now I erased it, but I can still lightly see the shape of the outline. I just mainly want to remove the pencil line. And I'm going to take my Mango Melody and I'm going to color the background of the dog, but I'm going to go outside of the line just a little bit, because when the frame hangs over that, I want it to be like a really nice continuation of all the windows. So I don't want it to go into the next window, so that's why you don't want to erase the pencil lines for the ones that are around it, because you don't want to go into that space. Hopefully that's making sense. So let me go ahead and add the Mango Melody to the dog. Okay, so you can see I didn't color down below the dog because I'm going to bring in those other colors that I used for his cape and then also his body, just to kind of fan that over the line just a little tiny bit, but not getting into the circle one down below, because that's going to be a totally different image. Okay, now let me blend this line out here a little bit. Okay, so if you lose track of where your line is, you can always take your template and just put that back over top of your animal, and you can see exactly right where, well, see, like I got even to add some over here and along the hat up here. So let me go ahead and add that. Okay. So now you can do another test. Just like that. So you can see that it's all covered in. All right, and then for the gingerbread man, I just took the Rainy Apple Green and I colored in the gingerbread man right over the star. Okay, so let me bring you in the finished card, and then we'll actually assemble the card. So here are all my windows. So you can see all the little greetings and the little animals, and then the little witch and the frog. So hopefully that shows up. Hopefully I'm keeping the glare off of it. Let me move my sequins down here. Isn't it cute? All right, so after you get everything colored in and you're ready to assemble, we're going to go on to that step because I've already got one totally colored for us. Okay, so then you're going to take your window sheet and you're going to add it to the back of your shaker window, making sure that it's the right side up. So this is definitely the right side up, because if you flip it over, it's not going to match up. Okay, so just giving you a little heads up on that. So making sure the template is laying correctly, you're going to go ahead and flip this over, and I'm just going to add some snail along the edge. Doesn't take a lot. You can actually add a little bit throughout the little shapes. This was one thing that I really did miss, that I wish Stampin' Up! Would have thought of this, but making the shaker card, I would have loved to have made the images or each individual section of the tag part of the Thinlit a shaker window. So instead of like having the whole card be the shaker, I would have liked to have randomly picked a few images just to have for the shaker, and then the other part wouldn't have been the shaker. So hopefully that makes sense. With the images not having too wide of a border, you can't even, pretty much can't even put a glue dot there. So, and we're using the foam adhesive strips, so we need it to be at least wide enough for that. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add my window sheet to the Thinlit. And then of course you're going to trim this out to have that match. Okay, so once again, I already did this part too as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that piece in. Okay, so here's my finished one. We're going to assemble this together. So after you put your window sheet on, you're going to flip it over and you're going to apply your foam adhesive strips. This is what they look like. And you're going to apply it on all four sides. Okay, so this is why we needed this side over here to be moved over a little bit so the strip could fit on there. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and peel off the backings. Okay, so now here are my background stamps, and they're colored all in. They match up perfectly, so you can see it without hopefully the glare now on all the images that I used and how I colored them. And of course you want to erase your pencil lines. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add some metallic assorted sequins. There is another color of these sequins, but the black and all the metallic colors look really great with these Halloween ones. I love it. Okay, so we're just adding a few bunches because this is a larger card like I had mentioned. So we're just adding a few pinches of the sequins, and I'm just putting them in the center of the card and spreading them out so they're not like heaped up on top of each other for the window. Okay, all right, then we're going to take our window with the adhesive, and I'm going to move this over here. So I'm going to actually have to pull this closer to me so I can line it up a little bit. And we're just going to set this down. I'm just kind of getting a visual here for when I set this adhesive down. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to press it down all the way around. Make sure there's no gaps so those sequins can't escape. And then that's your shaker card. Don't you love it? Super easy. It's just like I said, it's just time consuming trying to figure out what images you want in your shapes, and then also the coloring process. But oh my gosh, this card is so worth it. I absolutely love it. All right, so let's go ahead and finish the card. Okay, so then this is going to get adhered right to the base of the card. Just like that. And then let me show you what I did do on the finished card, and then we'll make the envelope. So this is the totally finished one where I added the Happy Halloween from the Cauldron Bubble stamp set. I added a little banner up here, and then I also added the two little bats from the Spooky Bat Punch with the black foil sheets. Aren't those awesome? Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, now we're going to go ahead and make the envelope. So let me grab that. Okay, so we are using the envelope punch board, which is amazing. I've been using that a lot lately. And the size envelope that we're making for this card, the finished size envelope is 5.5 by 6. And this is right here on the envelope punch board. And my designer paper is cut at 9 1/4 by 9 1/4. And the first score line is at 4 3/8. So I got the Toil and Trouble designer paper. And my first score line, let me grab my bone folder here. First score line, remember the first score line we're using the measurement along the top of the envelope punch board. Then after that we follow the score line. So right here it's 4 3/8. We're going to punch and score. Then after that we're going to ignore this. We're going to follow the score line on the designer paper, lining up this little tail here. Punch and score. Okay, so that's your envelope. All right, so it's just a matter of folding your score lines now on the envelope. And the switch is really cute. Maybe I'll use that side. I'm thinking so. He's pretty cute. Okay, so we're just going to flip this over and fold it in the other way. Because I like the witch. She's so cute. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive. I'm using this snail along the sides. And we're going to fold this up, press it down, and then the card slides right into the envelope. Just like that. Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh! Who would love to get this card? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so let me bring in the other one. Okay, so here's the other Halloween shaker card. And then this is the Christmassy one. And then once again, we're using the tags and tidings for this one. And this was actually the inspiration, this bundle, thinking outside of the box, just another way to use this Thinlit instead of just the tags, which is amazing by itself. But making this adorable shaker card is just like another added perk, I think, to this whole bundle. So this is the bundle, tags and tidings stamp set with the Christmas Tags Thinlits. Then I'll have all the items listed below. And then also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.